Hey YouTube, so this video is going to include everything you need to know about feeding leopard geckos. Now, first off, what type of food you use. The most common staple diets for leopard geckos are mealworms and crickets. I much prefer crickets, and here's why. They are more nutritious, easier to digest, and more stimulating since they run around. I've never tried mealworms. One of my leopard geckos apparently regurgitates every time when they eat one, so well, crickets are better for them anyway. There's some foods you can only use as treats, like waxworms and butterworms. And yeah, those are very fatty and addicting, so if you feed too many, your leopard gecko can get fat and they might not want to eat anything else. So only as a treat. You're going to have to dust your whatever food item you're going to use. This is very important. If you don't dust your food items enough or dust them too much, then your gecko can get MBD, which is metabolic bone disease, and it makes their legs, spine, and jaw floppy, and it's really horrible. So you feed your leopard gecko daily if they're a baby, and every other day to every 3 or 4 days if they're an adult. And you dust the crickets with pure calcium powder every other feeding and vitamin powder every 3 feedings. So yeah, you're also going to have to gut load your food. I'm using potato right now. I've tried oatmeal. Some people on the internet say that you can gut load with oatmeal, but my crickets didn't seem to have touched it. So yeah, my crickets seem to like potato, greens, carrots, apple. They need a lot of variety, and that nutrition will be passed on to your gecko. So yeah, the crickets also need egg cartons. And yeah, you should feed your leopard gecko as much as they'll eat in 15 minutes. And yeah, the food has to be, for a rule of thumb, the cricket has to be no wider than the space between the gecko's eyes. So yeah, and you shouldn't use any wild caught insects because they will probably have parasites and they might have pesticides. So yeah, some other things you can feed your leopard geckos are some phoenix worms, dubia roaches, only those are in Canada, hornworms, silkworms, stuff like that. So yeah, and you shouldn't leave crickets in the tank for too long or they'll start eating your gecko's poop, and if the gecko eats a cricket that's eating their poop, then they could get parasites, and they can also actually start to attack and bite your gecko, and you'd probably think that the gecko would just flick them away with their foot, but sometimes reptiles don't react to pain. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's about it for this video. Yeah. So bye. Please consider subscribing, like if you liked, and comment any questions.